Hello everyone, and this is Common Cam, and today I'm going to review Voltron Legendary Defender Season 6. It's finally here. We've got a good set of 7 episodes, well technically 6. One episode's kind of a goofy one, sort of a side off, you know, just sort of where the gang can have fun, but the main arc, the main series arc is wow, really amazing. There's a lot of things that fans have been speculating that finally comes into play, and we get to know a lot about Keith with his past, you know, with the cliffhanger where he met his mother, and what's going off with Shiro. Well, it's all explained, but before I dive into spoilers, I'm going to give you my non-spoiler. It's so basic for people who have not watched the series yet because it has only recently just come out. So if I had to give a summary of this season, certainly better than, well, I wouldn't say better than past ones. I think all seasons are actually quite good. I know some fans kind of go a bit in there like, oh, but that was only because there was some, you know, questions not answered, and, you know, with the episodes being short, it was kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this season. It's way too short to really judge it like a season. I don't know, I really like this one. I think it's one of my favourite ones by far. It's just the action, the intensity, all the secrets revealed, really. It kind of what made it up for me. There's not really a moment where I kind of lost interest. You know, I'd say, you know, episode 3 when it kind of has a side off, but that's not really me losing interest. It was still a fun episode. It kind of was like the only moment in the series, like, where they could have fun like this until the main action sort of, you know, started. So it was a fun season. I really did enjoy it. Really delivered on everything with the action, the animation. Not really a lot to complain about. The comedy in this really does make me laugh. You know, it's really hard to impress me when it comes to comedy. But this, the writers certainly knew what they were doing. You know, they definitely know how to play around with these characters when it comes to the big jokes, and when it's a good time to deliver jokes as well. Sometimes it's like, nah, this is in the right mood, and this is why the series works so well. It knows when to blend in that element, you know, when not to, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's just get straight into spoilers because I'm dying to talk about this. It's been absolutely ages since I last did a video on this, and I explain. Okay, so yeah, this is spoilers now, so you've been warned. There's a lot of things to sort of load. Let's just start off with the main one that all the fans have been talking about, you know, since it's all started. Shiro. What's the deal with Shiro? Well, yes, he is a clone, and my theory kind of does work in that sense of I sort of addressed it like a phantom, though I think that kind of give that way too much credit than it really needed. But the whole point of the clone, yeah, it is a clone, and the real Shiro is alive, but it's in a spirit. It's like the sort of subconscious area in the Black Lion, and that's where it's sort of been. And, you know, throughout the seasons before, you know, especially that time when Shiro tried to talk to Lance, but Lance, you know, didn't really think much of it. It was only until Keith, you know, came back with the group, and everything was sort of explained with that when he was back with his mom, and everything started getting like rolling. And we've been waiting for it for a long time because it's like, oh, how do I feel? If it's a clone, will I still feel the same when I find out, you know, that it is a clone? Like, will I still care for this character? And I don't know, I feel like they addressed that a little bit weirdly at the end. So, like, when his arm got cut off with the dark power that was in him, did that sort of turn off the clone? Because ever since then, the clone we knew was quiet. He was asleep. But then when it finally comes towards the end of the series and they start putting that back in, like when Princess Allura gets the spirit, the conscious out of the Black Lion of Shiro and into the clone, what happens to that? Will Shiro still remember the memory? It's really confusing. Season 7, I hope is happening. I think it's pretty much happening with the end of this season. But I don't know, I hope that is definitely one thing that I'm looking forward to, is like how they explain that. How does that work now? Like, does was Clone Shiro sort of a separate guy? I pretty much perceived that he was. I'm gonna have to watch a bunch of fan theories of just this arc in general. It's been really interesting, and it's been really puzzling on how I sort of feel about it. Like, Clone Shiro, oh, this past few seasons we've just known him. What happened with real Shiro? It's been a real good ride, really, and I don't know, I've just want the epic scene when he's fighting Keith is by far, it got me emotional. That's another thing, comedy and like emotional stuff like that in TV shows nowadays, it's rare to really get me to grips with it, and I'm not one who's so easily, it has to take a big build up, it has to take a lot of character development, and this show just delivered on that. That's why I've stuck around with it, you know, until now. It just really, I felt the moment, I felt with the music and everything sort of collaborated in one and making this jarring epic sort of like saga to this sort of like fanfare. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, so it is the case, and the animation was spot on in some areas. I mean, it is in general, but it felt like it was going at fast frames per second in some of these shots. But yeah, just like a great sort of finale to that in general, that whole arc of that. And I'm really curious on how it's perceived in the next one, because when Shiro does come back, the real Shiro at least, he's all white now. So has that dude aged while being in the Black Lion? Like, what's happened with him? So it's going to be really interesting, and I cannot wait. It's a new chapter for Voltron, I think, and that's one of the key things I want to talk about in a bit. But I'll go into the whole Lotor thing. I mean, I bought into it too. I thought the guy was good, and I do believe he was trying to do a good thing, but then it came to the part where he was, you know, ingesting all those Alteans and making them all... It's like, dude, I can't get on board with this anymore. You know, and that's what I also got Princess Allura sort of came to that conclusion. Like, yeah, I know you still want to try and do good, but dude, you did some messed up shit to try and be good. Or not be good, but try and do... This guy's just a dick. But I still felt that emotion when they were going at each other, you know, because you did kind of buy into the whole love interest. Like, yeah, he does actually kind of care for her now. Of course, when he gets twisted with power towards the end, it kind of goes away and he just wants to achieve his goal. But it was a good build-up nonetheless. And, you know, I didn't want to kind of believe it, because I was like, oh, I was hoping for that whole redeemable arc, you know, Lotor, you know, being on the bad side for so long. Maybe he is turned good, but... You know, some things just don't last forever, unfortunately. But it was a epic battle when he was going up against Voltron at the last episode. The guy literally dragged something right out of Zone of the Enders. It's like this guy, it's exactly like from that game. The creators must have thought of that in their heads. They're like, you know what? Zone of the Enders, their designs, that's something that he would ride in. And I've got some still shots going across the screen now, just really badass, and I really did like that fight. I think it topped it from the original Zarkon fight, just really epic. We get a lot of good stuff as well with Keith. It's sort of his introduction to his past. We get to see more of his father and his mother. The kid basically ages 2 years, so that was a weird cycle when he was like, oh, it's been 2 years. And I'm like, wait, what? 2 years? But nonetheless, it was good to see him back with the Voltron team, partnering up. And of course, he's going to be one to sort of initially like to save the day, you know, to stop Shiro and get the Black Lion all sorted and everything like that. It was just a really good sort of ride, really. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was on a ride, you know. There was no way I was going to stop one episode and carry on tomorrow. It's like, I've got to get this entirely done because I don't want this ride to end. And it's sad that it now has. I've seen some people are quite worried that it's close to the end, and I don't think that's the case. Actually, I think the series has the potential to go on another sort of cycle, but it's like a new sort of start now. And have we seen, well, the witch is still involved, she escapes, she's actually got her original skin now. Before that all happens, she just like vanishes when they all turn on her, and yeah, she's definitely going to be sort of the main, if anything, she's going to be the big villain towards the ending of the show. Like, if the creators have any sort of plans, I think they know this anyway. You know, Haggard is definitely going to be the main sort of big baddie towards the end. And I do kind of hope it's the end we see of Lotor. I don't know what they're going to plan on doing with him. I mean, he is sort of trapped in there, so, you know, they did use their own power against him, so I don't know what his sort of situation is, but I don't know. I just kind of want the witch to be the next sort of centered focused villain, and I think she's definitely going to be, so it would be interesting to see what happens next. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's my round off of what I want to talk about in this season. Truly epic, really is a fantastic show. There's still a few more unanswered questions, and there's obviously a lot to sort of go on in the next season, but what a season, you know. To say it was only 7 episodes, it did a good job. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below to this season. Did you enjoy it? What was your favourite moment from the season? And if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to this channel where I talk regular Voltron stuff and other kinds of pop culture in general. Until the next time, guys, this has been Common and Cam, and goodbye.